sad morning. Very sad morning. When this committee, the oldest and most continuous in the Congress, neglects its responsibility and essentially holds this hearing today to block any further discussion. The men and women on this committee are good people. They're honest and caring people. And that's why I do not understand why you would relegate this committee to no longer being of significance and resort to saying you will do whatever Elon Musk and Donald Trump tell you to do. Where's the independence of the committee? Where's the legislature? We're an equal branch of government. And you start off with a blather, and yet when we look at the empty seats here, where's Elon Musk?
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and where's Elon Musk? If his plans are so great, then why is he not here explaining them? That's the question that Representative John Larson threw right in the face of every Republican in that hearing. And the silence, well, it was deafening.
I'm sure he's a genius and is a very credible person because of the wealth he's accumulated. But that does not put him above the law or the responsibility to come before this committee in this Congress. If he's so great, if these plans and all the fraud and abuse that he found are so evident, why isn't he here explaining it?
Because they know exactly why Musk will not show up. He doesn't have to. The GOP has already sold their souls to protect him. They don't even pretend to care about it anymore. This isn't about cutting fraud or making government more efficient. That's the excuse. This is about gutting Social Security. This is about wiping out the federal workforce and handing the country over to billionaires. That's the real plan, and Republicans are too spineless to say it out loud.
Why isn't he here explaining it? You know why. Because he's out to privatize Social Security. He's been on television the last couple of days talking exactly about Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and what he intends to do. Privatize it. The American people, some of them may have been born at night, but not last night.
It's already happening. Federal employees have already lost over 100,000 jobs. The Department of Education just slashed half of its workforce. USAID, HUD, the VA, and Social Security officers, they're all on the chopping block. What do Republicans say about this? Well, they say nothing. They sit back, they let Elon Musk rip through this country like a wrecking ball and refuse to ask a single question. Not one. John Larson sees it. He sees the empty seats, the cowardice, the sheer refusal to hold the richest man in the world accountable. Instead of demanding Musk testify, they shield him from scrutiny like he's some kind of a king. This isn't governance. This is a corporate coup. And it's not just jobs that they're coming for. It's everything. Social Security privatized, Medicare cut to the bone, veterans benefits slashed, consumer protections gutted. Republicans like to talk about government waste, but the only thing that they really want to cut is your future. They've spent decades lying about Social Security. They call it unsustainable. They call it broken. And now, with Musk in their pocket, they think they finally have the excuse that they need to hand it over to Wall Street. And who exactly is leading the charge? A billionaire tech mogul who has never worked a day in his life, never had to worry about a pension, and never had to decide whether to buy groceries or to pay rent. And yet Republicans, they worship him. Because in today's GOP, billionaires don't just run businesses, they run the country. The American people never voted for any of this. But Musk, Donald Trump, and the GOP, well, they don't care. They're doing it anyway. And if you're struggling, well, too bad. That's the new reality that they're creating. A country where billionaires own everything. and everyone else fights for scraps. And Larson, he isn't letting them off the hook. He's calling it out for what it is, a betrayal of the people that they swore to serve. And he's not alone. You know what's worse than a liar? A room full of people too afraid to admit that he's lying.
You know, I've been committed to helping the government become more efficient, save dollars, go after fraud, waste, and abuse. I was the first Democrat to join the DOGE caucus, which, by the way, hasn't done anything and has not been included in anything Elon Musk has done. But, you know, it's nice that we have a caucus. And so this is a bipartisan effort, like the chairman mentioned. We do want to get at waste, fraud, and abuse. But I do think dispelling myths, dispelling fact from fiction is important. You gave an answer on whether Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. The answer is no, right? It's not a Ponzi scheme.
We have not reported that it's a Ponzi scheme.
Right, so it's not a Ponzi scheme.
I'm not aware that it's a Ponzi scheme.
Okay.
Agreed. Not
Okay, so Mr. Musk is wrong. No one's going to get fired for saying it, right? He's wrong. You can say it. It's not a Ponzi scheme. I'll say it for you. It's not a Ponzi scheme. It's not a Ponzi. Okay, he's wrong. I know we're afraid to say it. And see, that's part of the problem. We're afraid to say that Elon Musk is wrong. That's what Mr. Frost was talking about when he says he hears crickets from my colleagues. We hear crickets from the witnesses because everyone is afraid when Elon says something, if it's patently false, we're afraid to say it's false.
Now here's the thing. The people he was questioning weren't the problem. Moskowitz wasn't grilling MAGA Republicans this time. He was actually preaching to the choir. They all knew that Musk was spewing nonsense. They weren't the ones pushing the lie. They just weren't bold enough to push back. And that's where Moskowitz's wit and humor came in. He knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't trying to trap them. He wasn't looking for a gotcha moment. He was exposing the real cowards, the Republicans in the room.
The IG is getting fired. You support the IG is getting fired? I mean, I got to imagine if you're interested in getting rid of fraud, waste, and abuse, they're the people trying to get rid of fraud, waste, and abuse. So they got fired from Agriculture, Interior, HUD, Department of Defense, the EPA, the State Department, HHS, Veterans Affairs, Labor, Transportation. You support that? In the mission of getting rid of fraud and waste and abuse?
The Inspector General Committee is critical. There are certainly, and
No, I get
administration
that, but you have no opinion whether that was good or bad. Again, we won't say Elon's wrong. I know you won't go there, but was that the right decision?
You did lose institutional knowledge. Certainly, administration has a right to change who the Inspector General is. There are reporting mechanisms though, that weren't necessarily followed.
Let's use numbers. Let's use data. So like 51-49, 51 bad idea. Right, that was a bad idea.
The proper protocols weren't followed in
right.
executing
We
it.
know it was illegal. Don't get me wrong. I didn't want to make you say that. I appreciate you saying that on the record. It was illegal. The proper protocols weren't followed. But is it good policy if you want to go after fraud, waste, and abuse? Was that good policy?
To lose institutional knowledge?
No, not
of the
good
top
policy.
officials?
Good policy?
I don't think it improves the ability to fight fraud, waste, and
Okay,
abuse.
not good policy.
not good policy.
Okay, right. And if you're telling the American people that this is a focus of your administration, and then you go fire all of the AGs, that doesn't seem to compute.
It wasn't that the witnesses disagreed. It's that they didn't want to be the ones to publicly call out the richest man in the world. And that was the point. Moskowitz wasn't just making them say the truth. He was exposing the fear that Musk has instilled in Washington. Because let's be real, this was never about Social Security. The real problem is the power that Musk wields over the Republican Party. That's why the GOP was completely silent in that room. That's why they wouldn't dare challenge Elon Musk, even when his claims were blatantly false. This wasn't about government waste. This wasn't about fixing the system. This was about protecting billionaires, no matter the cost. And the worst part? Well, they know it. Moskowitz just forced them to admit it. And now, here we are, watching millions of Americans suffer while Republicans stand by and do absolutely nothing. Because Elon Musk isn't just running Tesla, He's actually running the government, and no one in the GOP dares to stop him. The fallout from this isn't just numbers on a spreadsheet. This is real life, and it's wrecking people across the country. People didn't just lose their jobs. They lost their security, their health care, their livelihoods. Veterans are seeing their benefits slashed. Parents are wondering how they'll keep their homes, and retirees are watching their futures disappear. And here's the thing, this isn't just happening to Democrats. Republicans are losing their jobs too. That's why GOP town halls are turning into battlegrounds. Trump's most loyal voters, working class Republicans in places like Kentucky, West Virginia, and Tennessee, are the ones getting hit the hardest. They thought all this destruction was just going to target the libs. Now they're watching their own lives fall apart. And for what? To make 810 billionaires richer at the expense of 340 million Americans. That's the real agenda. Meanwhile, Trump and Musk are gutting the country with zero oversight. Trump promised a case-by-case review of J6 pardons. He just signed an order and freed them all. Now Musk is doing the same thing with mass layoffs, Social Security cuts, and VA slashes while the GOP stands by and claps like trained seals. And the cherry on top, Musk controls the narrative. If a Tesla dealership gets vandalized, it's domestic terrorism. But when MAGA rioters stormed the Capitol, it was just tourists. This isn't just corruption, it's a power grab. Musk isn't just another billionaire hoarding wealth. He's actively reshaping America in his image, slashing programs, killing jobs, shutting down federal agencies, gutting Social Security, wiping out VA benefits. And who's stopping him? Not Congress, not the Republicans claiming to care about the working class. They're all too scared. And that's why this matters. If Musk, Trump, and the GOP keep getting away with this, it won't stop. They'll gut every program that helps regular people. They'll hand everything to the ultra-rich. They will dismantle democracy itself if it means keeping power. They are afraid of one thing, us. That's why they suppress the vote. That's why they're weakening the government meant to serve the people. Because the second working Americans, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, realize that they've been sold out, it's over for them all. Enough is enough. Vote these frauds out. Fight for the people, not billionaires. And next time we ask, where's Elon Musk? He better be answering in a courtroom, not running our country. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.